Hey everybody, welcome to Cooking Johns Creek. I'm Antonio Matarese and I'm joining you from Whole Foods Market, Johns Creek, Georgia. Today what we're going to do is make homemade pasta dough. This is near and dear to my heart, being Italian. And I'm going to start out with 1.5 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour. The best you can use is King Arthur. The other thing we're going to use is 1.5 cups of semolina flour and a pinch of salt. We want to mix it up. Use a bench scraper, it helps. We're going to take it, make a well in the center, and we're going to crack 4 eggs into a bowl. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, you want to mix this up a little bit directly to your well. You can do this in a bowl, but there's no fun in that, so I suggest doing it directly on your countertop. Okay, then what we're going to do is mix in your dry ingredients into your wet. What you want to do is just move around your wet ingredients with a fork, incorporating your dry. Okay. Go to the outside edges, mix that in too. At this point, you want to trade in your fork for a bench scraper and start to knead it. And how you do that is you just start pushing it across your table with your fingers, making sure that anything that gets stuck to your fingers gets incorporated into your dough. Pasta dough, you want to make sure that you use all of the wet ingredients and all of the dry ingredients. The dough is going to be slightly tacky, but that's okay. And you want to take the palms of your hands, press them, and this is how you knead anything, whether it be bread dough or pasta dough. You want to push it across the countertop. Turn it over on its side, fold it over, push it across the countertop, just like that. Push it over, drag it across the countertop. That's going to give you a nice dough when all is said and done. Once you get this done, your dough should be smooth, no dimples. Beautiful looking dough. As you can see, it's nicely kneaded. Okay. And when you're done, it's going to be smooth. You want to form it into a disc and cover it with plastic wrap. Thank you. So here's our plastic wrap. You want it completely airtight. Pasta dough has a tendency to dry out if it's exposed to air. You want to let this sit at room temperature for 30 minutes. Okay, we're back. After 30 minutes of our pasta dough resting, what we're going to do now is unwrap it. Have just a little bit of all-purpose flour available. We're going to take our dough, we're going to slice it into quarters. We're going to roll out each quarter at a time. The quarter that you're not using, or the other 3 quarters that you're not using, we want to wrap up in the plastic and let sit. You don't want it to dry out. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to give our dough a little head start here. And thank you. A little rolling pin helps. Okay, we want to roll this out. And if your dough is a little sticky, just run it over slightly dusting of flour. We're going to start with our pasta machine. We want to have our machine on the widest setting, which is number 1. We're going to send it through. And on the first time and the first time only, we want to fold it like you would a letter. What this does is gives you nice sides, so that when you send it through on number 1 again, what happens is that you have straight edges. Okay. Each time you send it through, you want to increase your number. Okay. And continue sending it through. If you get really good at this, you can skip a couple of numbers, which is what I just did. So we're going to send this through again. If it gets sticky, lightly dust it with flour. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to send it through the last time. There we go. If it gets too long like this, take your bench scraper, cut it in half, and then you can cut it depending on how you want it. We're going to send this through the fettuccine setting on this, and grab it as it comes out. And you have beautiful fettuccine. Okay? You can take this, you want to take a little bit of semolina flour, and to keep it from getting sticky, what I do is just toss your pasta dough with a little semolina flour to keep the noodle strands separate. And while you roll out your other pasta, you can just leave it in a little nest, just like that. When it comes time to boil, just pick it up, drop it in your water, boil it for 5 minutes. And that's it. Enjoy.